carboxyl group is a new functional group that we haven't seen before. This is what it looks like. It's got a carbon here that is double bonded to an oxygen, and then there's another oxygen here that's single bonded to a hydrogen. So you might recognize this group over here. This is a hydroxyl. You've seen this before, but this is a new functional group, and we won't ever consider it on its own in this chemistry course, but if it were on its own, this would be called a carbonyl group. And so when you take a hydroxyl group along with a carbonyl group and you put them together as a whole unit, then that thing is called a carboxyl group. You'll sometimes see this written out as a COOH, which was that confusing ending that you saw on things like acetic acid when you were identifying it in earlier chemistry courses. The carboxyl group, the presence of a carboxyl group, will make a molecule a carboxylic acid. Always has to occur at the end of a chain or as a branch because there's no room to attach more than a single carbon to the carbon that's at the center of the group. You'll recognize carboxylic acids in tangy fruits like citrus fruits, which contain citric acid, which is a carboxylic acid, as well as vinegar, which contains acetic acid, which is a carboxylic acid as well. When you're naming a carboxylic acid, you replace the E ending of the alkane name with oic acid, and you count the carbons that are part of the chain. Now, you just have to be careful with the carboxylic acid because the carbon that is a part of the carboxyl group also counts towards the backbone. So, for example, with this molecule here, with this carboxylic acid, I've got 1, 2, 3 carbons in the backbone because this one counts. A lot of people would name it only as 2 or identify it only as having 2, so call it ethanoic acid, but it doesn't. It's got 1, 2, 3, so it is propanoic acid. And if we want to write out propanoic acid's full structural formula, then we need to start with 3 carbons in the backbone, 1, 2, 3, and one of the end carbons, one of the terminal ones, is going to be part of the carboxyl group. So this here, 1, 2, 3 carbons, would be propanoic acid. If I wanted to name this next one, which has got 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons in the backbone, it would not be butane, but butanoic acid.